This conference will now be recorded.
There you go.
Okay, so you better,
Is there anyone wishing to speak on the non-metallic mining?
There's nobody online for it anyway.
Dennis Richardson is online. That would be the only one that would have anything to do with either one of those public hearings. So
Okay,
I move we close.
A second.
motion by Duplain, second by Williams to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Monday, June 5th, 2023 at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road End, Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. Town Board will hold a public meeting immediately following the public hearings for alcohol beverage and non-metallic mining permits. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. Meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. I call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the minutes of the May 15th living in your packet.
I would move approval with correction. Finance report motion by Founder Duplay, not Williams. And, yeah. Otherwise,
Second with that correction.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay with the one correction in finance report.
item D,
B
number
one,
D1,
that should have been,
longer do play.
Instead of Binder Williams.
any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report and approval of bill.
We can. Just, say, just popped into my head here, Alliant Energy for a right-of-way permit over on Siegel Cow. Just generally, is Alliant better about restoration than,
Intercon did the work, yeah.
Intercon
Did that work on Single Cow.
is better than TDS's charter?
Yeah, that was a small job. They just did the gas line and the power to that one house.
Jefferson Fire and Safety for $18,000.
Turnout gear,
What was that?
turnout gear.
I move approval of checks 36,377 to 36,407 be paid, and EFT payments of $31,872.72 be made.
Motion by Duplay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anders to approve checks 36,377 through 36,407 and the EFT payments of $31,872.72. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have in your packet the credit card charges and the May per diem.
Motion to approve the per diems is presented.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the per diems as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have the unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,297,614.31. Anything else? Next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. No one online. All right, moving on. Next item, discuss, consider adoption of resolution 2023-06-05A, recognizing the Hammond Farms nomination to the state and the National Register of Historic Places. Whereas Alexander Hammond moved to Cottage Grove, Wisconsin in 1843 from Ticonderoga, New York, and whereas in 1845 Alexander purchased 240 acres of land from the government and took up residence on the property at 3859 Vilas Road in the town of Cottage Grove, and whereas Alexander married Carolyn Brown, and they built the main section of the farmhouse. And whereas in 1847 and 1848, Alexander and Carolyn built the north and south additions to the house. And whereas Robert Hammond inherited the farmstead from his parents, and whereas Robert married Annie Arthur, and they built the barn in 1901, and whereas several other historic structures exist on the property with varying date ranges from 1901 to 1965, and whereas the farm has subsequently passed down to Robert and Edith, third generation, then to Harry and Mildred, fourth generation, and whereas the farm is currently owned by fifth generation Joel and Marie Hammond, and whereas on May 26, 2023, the Wisconsin Historic Preservation Review Board nominated the Hammond Farmstead at 3859 Vilas Road, Town of Cottage Grove, Dane County, Wisconsin, to the Wisconsin State Register of Historic Places and the National Register of Historic Places. Now therefore be it resolved that Town of Cottage Grove Board of Supervisors hereby recognize the Hammond family for their efforts in sustaining the historic nature of the Hammond Farmstead for 178 years and submitting it for nomination to the state and national registers of historic places.
I move adoption of this resolution recognizing the Hammond Farms nomination to the State and National Register of Historic Places.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The Historical Society would like a picture of some kind, so we need to maybe stage something with the town board.
Yes.
How we gonna do that?
Can we use your phone or my phone?
I can take the picture.
Well, should we have you sit in front of the town board? Put this chair here.
Oh, boy.
If we need to, we can squeeze in. Yeah.
Move together a bit.
Moves in.
Smile, Joel, Jesus. Come on, get a smile on your face. For Christ's sake.
Well, let's see. All right. I'll take a couple here. All right.
Can we get one with April also?
Yeah, come on, April.
Come on, April.
Yeah. Holy cow. Another chair.
Sit on his lap.
No.
Sorry.
Sit on his knee.
Gee,
Like you
excuse
did when
me.
you were a little girl.
What?
Careful.
All right.
Congratulations, Joel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quite cheap.
Yes, it is.
We'll
Thank
get
you.
a copy of that resolution once it's all signed and all that good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Moving on, consideration of July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024 alcohol beverage licenses. Renewal of Class A beer, Class B cider for Door Creek Orchards. Elizabeth Griffin, agent at 3252 Vilas Road. You want to do them individually or all when we're all
All at
together?
once. Do them all at once.
No issues anywhere.
I don't have any issues with any of the establishments at all, no. We had, the usual checks done by the officers or deputies, nothing. No big concerns this year whatsoever.
Okay, renewal combination Class B beer and Class B liquor for Ball of Fun. Doing business as Double Days, Deborah Steiger, Stuber, agent 4586 Violet Baxter Road, Door Creek Golf, Inc. Philip Frederickson, agent 4321 Vilas Road, Norris Tavern, Timothy Cleaver, agent 1843 US Highway 12 and 18, and a new Class B beer and Class C wine for Warm Belly Noble, doing business as Warm Belly Farms, Francis Wisniewski Agent, 4311 Vilas Hope Road. And we have the operators.
The operator, you might want to do the operators and managers separate.
Yeah.
I do have a comment about that.
Motion to approve the liquor licenses.
Second.
Motion by Fonger, second by Williams to approve the 4 liquor licenses as read. Any discussion on that
Five.
motion?
Right.
Five.
5, yeah.
Five. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
If you look at the list of operators and managers, I don't have any problems with any of them. There is one on the list that does not have a current server certificate, class certificate. She was a bartender several years ago, has not been licensed for a few years. She's actually the wife of the owner of the establishment, and they know that she needs to do that, and she hasn't turned it in yet. So I would recommend
Which one?
for
Kristen?
Door Creek.
Why would she need a license if they? if,
She applied for a manager's license this year. Another one of their managers is not on the list, so I assume someone left and she's taking over. But anyway, I would recommend that you approve her contingent on her completing that class, because I don't have any other concerns about her.
If she's an immediate family member of the owner.
Yeah, you don't need
she
a
doesn't
license
need it
even.
anyway, so.
Well, she does because it's a corporation.
Oh.
Okay.
Their own corporation.
Oh.
Yeah.
I move approval of all the operators and licensors, except, do you want me to name her?
Yeah, and just,
Except Kristen Frederickson, who still has to complete the server, get the service certificate. And that hers is approved until, on
contingent.
Contingent.
on a contingent basis, until she completes the course.
Yep.
Second.
Motion by Duplay, that was for operator's license and for the manager? Correct. Second by Williams to approve them as presented with Christine Frederickson's manager's license, depending on her getting last information to you. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next is consideration of July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 non-metallic mining permit renewals for 2543 Gaston Road, Brad Houston operator, 3355 County Road N, Brad Houston operator, and 2294 US Highway 12 and 18 GR Lyons III operator.
None of these have proposed any changes to their operations or hours on their applications. So I did give you their expiring permits that have the conditions, and I would assume that they want you to approve the same conditions they've been operating under and hours, right?
I would move approval maintaining the same operating conditions and hours as in the
Second.
past.
And that's all right with the operators?
That's good.
Motion by Williams,
Yes, it
second
is.
by Duplay to approve the 3 non-metallic mining permits as presented with the same conditions and hours as previous. Any discussion?
Yeah, just a quick question on Lycons. Is the notice from the town, the spelling of the last name is different than on the application? Was there a misspelling
Probably on
on
my
either
part.
ours or theirs? Just point of, is it actually L-Y-N-O, it's Lyons?
Lyons is my last name,
Lyons?
Lyons.
Okay,
Lycon is the company name.
correct. On your application, it was line, there's an extra N in it.
Ah, okay. No,
Okay, so I mean, if it's not gonna make any difference, I don't think that will it.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Ready to bend.
Up to lunch.
So I mean, I didn't know if it was that important that it be perfect or not, but we all, we know, but, okay, that's all I have.
All right.
missed it.
If there's no other discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next, Plan Commission recommendations. Dwayne Farwell petitioner, Dwayne and Camilla Farwell and Farwell Family Investment Company LLC. The owners requesting a rezone of 5.7 acres from RR2 to RR4 for 4.2 acres and an RR1 parcel that's 1.5 acres to adjust the property lines between adjacent properties at 4073 and 4085 Ridge Road. Simply moving the lot lines.
I had a call today from the county and now I'm confused. Because she was saying that that lot is 4.2 acres. Oh, I know what she's saying. And that 4.2 includes the right of way. The Plan Commission wanted it to be dedicated. She called the surveyor and he couldn't tell her right off the bat if it was going to be less than 4 acres, if it was the right of way was taken out of it. So she and I did some quick math and we think it's going to be 4.07 or something like that. But anyway, there's a chance that that lot may have to be zoned a little different if it goes under 4 acres. So your
Table this then, or?
no,
No.
you should just approve
Prove
it.
it with that understanding that if the dedication brings it under 4,
That then they should approve it to the appropriate category for that size.
Okay.
yeah, so we want the road dedication.
No, I understand that.
I think it's gonna squeak over based on the math we did.
Okay. Plan Commission moved approval.
Make a motion, we approve the plan commission's recommendation
Second.
With the
with the potential change in the zoning classification if the final lot size is under 4.0 acres.
from the road dedication. Motion by Anders, second by Duplay. Discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I have one question though. You were talking about if it's under 4 acres,
Yes?
then the zoning proposed here wouldn't apply, or what are you saying?
RR4 would not apply.
Yeah,
would
you
it?
need 4 acres for, what would it be? Hold on just a minute. So the minimum for RR4 is 4 acres. So if it falls below 4 acres, it would have to be RR2, which is the next step down. So it's
Okay.
pretty much the same use.
It doesn't matter to me, just so I get the breakdown that I'm looking for, so.
Yeah, unless you were looking for animal units or something, you know, still it wouldn't matter. You have to have you can have 1 animal unit per full
Per
acre.
full acre.
So if it's less than 4, you could only have 3 animal units instead of 4. But as far as the other, there's really not much of any difference between RR2 and RR4 as far as what you can do on it. It's
I'll
just
be fine with either
size.
one, so, all right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Next item was discuss and consider approval of Dane County Ordinance Amendment 2023-OA-009 regarding salvage operations. And the Plan Commission voted to support. Really just changing the name.
Is that all it's doing?
And also Dane County Towns recommended it too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we going to have any challenge because it says per Wisconsin statute, we're supposed to take action within 15 days of this written request? The letter's dated April 28th.
What are you looking at?
Yeah. No, that's something else.
That's for the landfill.
That's for the landfill. I'll move approval of Dane County Ordinance 2023 dash, is that 0 or OA dash 009?
Motion by Duplay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Fonger to approve ordinance amendment 2023-OA009. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Update on inspection, possible raise order for the house at 2983 County Road BV.
Tell us.
Please.
I don't have any update. All I know is the building inspector is hoping to get to it this week.
Oh, come on.
They have a guy that's dedicated to doing that. It's not Jim that does
Oh.
these raises, and he's apparently had a backlog. So he's supposed to be getting to it this week, and I don't have any update from the owner either, so.
And he was here at the last meeting. He was going to get right at it. He hasn't done
Yeah,
anything.
right.
Hasn't touched it.
Yeah,
You
it's
had
still,
said it's gonna drag on,
Yeah.
and you're right.
No question.
So, okay, let's briefly talk. Say the building inspector says, no, it's a raise. How much longer then?
We gotta go to circuit court.
So if the building inspector determines, the cost of repair exceeds 51% of the assessed value of the building, we can order it to be raised within 30 days. If he fails to raise it within 30 days, we then can enter the property and raise it, unless he goes to court and seeks to enjoin us from doing that. But we don't have to go to
what
court.
about anything that's left inside? I mean, do we have to?
Yeah, he will have, the raise order will tell him to raise it within 30 days. If he fails to do that, we'll go in there and any property in there will be deemed abandoned.
Okay,
Question, does that raise order mean that it's demolished and everything's gone in 30 days, or just that it's demolished and we're left with?
No, it's got to be, the structure has to be demolished and the property restored to grade. So if there's a, basement.
Basement, the electric
It's gonna
facility.
be filled, yeah. So I mean, if time is a importance for the town, you may want to, when you get the raise order issued, assuming the building inspector is going to determine it meets the 50%, you might want to start looking for a contractor and get him online, because 9 times out of 10, these people don't raise the property.
Yeah.
So you want to, if time's important to you, you sort of want to get that going during the 30 days.
Get it lined up. Okay.
full speed ahead.
So
Anything else?
theoretically, then on the 31st day after the raise order and his failure to comply, we could be in there and knocking stuff down then.
Yeah,
Theoretically, I mean-
I have 2 raised cases right now where the property owner went into court, sought an injunction to preclude the municipality from raising it. And the judges will give those orders pending a hearing. So absent the person doing that, you're absolutely right. We can go in on the 31st day.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, we do actually. That's got a mound system by it. Does the mound system have to be demolished also, or
No.
that can remain?
Now, the structure will get demolished. Any sort of subterranean structures in it, no. I mean, I assume that for sanitary purposes, it'll have to be sealed, but it doesn't have to be removed, no.
Okay.
At our last meeting, we asked, and it was in the minutes, that the fire chief sent him an email. That has been
He
done.
did, yeah.
All right, moving on.
Not to interrupt, but if it would please the board, if you could do the closed session now, if there's nobody in the public, That would allow me to get to another meeting. I apologize, but I wanted to be here because I was late to you guys last time.
Oh,
sure.
Okay.
We're just secondary around here.
No, you're first. That's
Oh,
why
there,
I'm here.
okay, yeah, good.
Okay, we'll move to item 7, consider adopt a motion to move into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 19.85, parent 1, parent E, deliberating, negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session, citing the Dane County Solid Waste Facility proposed at 7101 US Highway 12 and 18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams. Roll call. Fonger.
Aye.
Enders. Hampton. Aye. Williams.
Aye.
I,
Duplace.
I'll lock
Okay,
it.
so I gotta think about what to do here. I'm gonna stop the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
There's a line running through it.
Green.
looks
And
green.
it says it's recording.
All right, we're now back in open session. I guess we're done, Bill.
Thank you. I appreciate you accommodating. Conflict.
Although I read your colleagues' emails and I still not sure on the value of Femrite Bridge.
It's half, 90%.
Divided by 2 and multiplied by 0.90
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay. So we'll move to awarding bids for the 2023 road maintenance projects. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we had Farner for chip seal, was the only one we got.
Scott's didn't show up to bid, so
What's that?
Scott's came and measured the roads and everything, and never submitted a bid.
Oh. Yeah, Payne and Dolan and Wolf for paving.
Yep.
And what did you find out about Payne and Dolan, was it, that didn't list?
They didn't list, like, they didn't figure out like Wolf did for the bottom there.
Yeah,
So I talked to Mitch, the guy that came out and gave us the bid, and he's got that all included in the price.
says it's included.
Yep. So that 34,960 includes the fine grade, the 4LT and the 3LT, just like Wolf had listed.
The 316.
148.
Yeah, yep, that includes everything. Their average per ton, Payne and Dolan's was 73.15 roughly, and Wolf's was $80.50 per ton.
So we probably want to go with Payne and Dolan.
Move we
And
move
Farn?
we approve Payne and Dolan, the hot mix overlay.
Motion by Duplace. Is
Do you
there?
want me to say the amount?
Huh?
Do you want me to say the amount?
Well, yeah, we might add to it to get up to our 350.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Andrews to award paving to Payne and Dolan. Now the chip seal. From Farner. Oh, yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Chip seal. 64,717.
That's the only one we got, right?
Yeah.
Motion approved.
Second,
Motion by Fonger, second by Duplace to approve Farner's bid for chip sealing, $717. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discuss and consider funding options for the 2023 road maintenance projects. You know, normally we go and borrow for roughly what, 350 plus the interest?
No, my 350 includes, we get whatever we can get to include the interest and the principal in the 350.
Okay. And from Lake Ridge Bank,
Lake Ridge Bank, where's that?
That's a no.
Monona,
No.
they joined with Cross Plains.
Yeah,
They're over 6%, but with them, we have that other
500,000.
that we could draw that's only at 2.65. We don't have to draw it all. We could draw however much we need, and
Why wouldn't we?
you could choose to pay it back all next spring, or you could drag it out for 10 years, which I wouldn't suggest.
So why wouldn't we just borrow the money off the loan?
Yeah, because nobody else is anywhere cheap.
So yeah, that was a $1.5 million loan
Loan.
for 10 years. Originally, that 500 was slated for the net big.
Intersection, which we aren't doing.
If you aren't doing that, then you have 5,000 in there, 500,000 in there that is available for road contracts. And I mean, you can't like take it and pay it back and take it and pay it back. You
No.
take it once and
We're done.
yeah, you're done. So
But we could take 350 and we could then next year maybe take another 150
yeah, I think,
Yeah,
Like, why wouldn't we?
and stay at that 2.65
it's a heck of a savings there.
Yeah,
on interest. Yeah.
kind of getting way beyond the intent of that loan and what the bank was expecting out of it, I think, you
Yeah.
know, but,
So then the other question is, with the interest rate being down, would you want to do more projects?
How do these prices compare with what you were expecting?
A little lower. Painted Olin's price is a lot lower than I thought.
That's what I.
Wolf's
thought,
right
too.
around where I thought they would be, where it would be, $80 a ton.
do you have any other projects that you might want to get done?
Well, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd rather do more
this is-
projects
yeah,
and get our,
This is your chance to get your money's worth.
I did some math. Hold on a minute here.
I mean, we can get more work, road work. done. I'd
Yeah,
like to
and then
get more
save
road
the,
work
save
done.
the 3 or 4%. I mean, that's a huge issue.
Yeah, being at 2.65 versus 6.
I mean, it seems like most years you just do a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and then coming back to a little more there, a little more there.
And that's why banks are going belly up right now, because they're gonna be losing money on this.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then someday that bank won't be there.
This bank has been very, very good to us, and I
Yes, they
don't
have.
want to do anything to jeopardize that relationship because they have been very good
Yeah.
to us. I just did some math for the heck of it, trying to figure out what this would do to your mill rate. So, I mean, looking at last year's assessed value and not knowing what things are going to be and all that kind of stuff. But let me look at this again and figure out what I figured out I was going to do. So, I mean, keep in mind, if you're gonna take out more money and try to pay it all back next year, that's gonna raise your taxes next year compared to typical.
But we wouldn't have to.
You wouldn't have to, but it's still gonna raise it some because assuming you keep doing that 350 every year like you have been, you're gonna have to pay out more every time. So just keep that in mind.
The interest rate goes down in next year.
Yeah.
What are you smoking?
It could. Could,
That's right, we can hope.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it could.
maybe a few months towards November, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. But anyway, I mean, if you took the whole 500, my calculations were it'd be about, on a $300,000 house, they'd have to pay about another $80 next year.
If you took the whole 500
Whole 500
and paid it all back,
And paid it all back. I didn't like, no, I mean, I didn't like spread it over a bunch more years and figure out all of them or anything like that.
$7 a month. Compared to what the school did to us,
Yeah.
Or do you hang on to that 150 for next year in hopes we get that federal money to do up off? So we have our money to pay for that.
yeah, we don't know what the interest rate will be next year though either.
Yeah, but if you get 150 to use, right?
I'd like to do it this year because we don't, first of all, it's not raining this year also. Maybe we could actually get more work done without.
We can come up with another couple of road projects.
Yeah,
$150,000.
I'd have to look at it and see what I can keep close to the other roads so I can't move them around. Otherwise, you're gonna go up in tonnage, right? Whatever they gotta pick up the
Yeah.
machine to move it.
Yeah,
True.
And
So,
we try to do so much every year, and I don't like to spend money just because, it's sitting there. I mean, I can see if we're gonna save the money on what we need done this year, that makes sense, but just to use it all just for the sake of using it all, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, every time I drive home over Hope Road and the washboard there, my husband keeps saying, so when are you going to be repairing this? When are you going to be repairing this?
that's a fail in the pavement there.
Pardon?
That was a fail in the pavement there. That wasn't fixed that long ago, Jeff. Jeff was towards the end of his career.
Around the corner near what
When you're
Kim
going
calls the
west?
white, when you're
Woody Farm?
driving east.
For Dane County's solar panels.
They're
And
gonna be taking that over anyway, so.
That'll be a next.
That'll be their job.
That'll be their job.
Yeah.
they're gonna next to that driveway,
They're gonna
To
next
the
to the,
middle, taking the middle of the
bridge.
road.
out to the middle of the next culvert.
or, the
That
middle of
culvert there?
Thumright Bridge, that we've determined,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then right through the middle of that creek probably. then?
Basically right
Yeah.
through the middle of the creek. It's right on the edge of the IGA line.
So they'll take it right to that culvert there, the big culvert.
Yeah, it says you're driving east on Hope Road
Yeah.
from Fenway.
So we don't want to be
Before that
spending money that
curve.
we don't have to.
If it's gonna
It's-
be the counties.
Yeah, if they're gonna take it over, why would we spend the money there?
Okay,
No,
I hear
we
you.
wouldn't.
No,
I hear you. I'll tell
Well,
them.
we could fix the rest of the road. We could go from.
You can
South
drive it
Hope,
one way.
'cause that's bad too.
and it wouldn't rattle.
'Cause that's bad too. From South Hope to Vilas. It's not as bad as the other section, but it needs it.
So I'm hearing one, spend the 500 and do more. I'm hearing the others, keep the 150 for maybe next year. What do we want to do?
Do what I said.
Do what I said.
Make it a motion then.
I make a motion, we spend the monies that we have set up to spend this year only. And take it out of the
Lake Ridge
money, yes.
At 2.65%.
Correct.
Motion by Fungers, second by Anders. Everybody understand the motion?
Yes, yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I,
Motion carried.
what did you vote?
Aye.
Okay, so just one opposed.
Discuss and consider whether to renew the lease for the police station at 2560 North Road. We do have the,
You need to give notice 6 months in advance.
yeah,
And I guess I'm assuming we want to keep it.
I would say so.
That's what I was hoping. I mean, when I first read the agenda, I thought, what's going on here? I was thinking something
No,
nefarious.
it's just that that's what the agreement says. You have to give them notice that you want to keep it.
I move we keep it.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Anders to,
Continue.
it's basically to extend the lease by 3 years, isn't it?
It works.
Do we want to ask for anything?
Well, they've been keeping up pretty much, haven't they? But we need or know or what?
The only thing that I know of, some of those cabinets, kitchen cabinets are falling apart.
Mhm.
So could we ask for them to replace them?
Now, I've been asking, I haven't gotten anywhere yet, but
Oh, should we make that a provision of our renewal? Please?
I don't think you can do that. I mean, they're gonna take the sheriff's department right out of here then.
Okay,
Cabinetry is not that expensive at Menards, like if you go buy the pre-built stuff.
could you install them with your crew?
Yeah, that's not that hard. We can make it a winter job.
you know, once you install them, then it becomes their property.
Yeah.
How many are there? Is it big? Lots of them or?
There's 3 rooms that
Yeah.
have cabinets in them.
I was just thinking in the main kitchen area that they use all the time. You could just
Oh,
invest in that
One
area.
office, forget her name. She did the,
Jocelyn?
Oh, the detective, yeah,
she has a couple bad ones in there,
that's right.
so.
How would it be if we asked them to purchase them and then ask Dan and his crew to install them?
I can ask.
I mean, are those gonna be anything that would be useful to them and when we do not lease there any longer?
I don't know.
I just ask them to replace and see what they say, period.
Or do 1 room per year.
Yeah.
I've been asking it. At one point, they said that there were cabinets in the old dairy that they were taking out, but I never saw them ever come down. So I don't know whatever happened to them or if there were really any there, but
That was like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily hold those high hopes.
So you don't want to make that a condition of extending your lease? You
No.
just want to ask them if,
did we vote?
no.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is discuss, consider whether to participate in the 2024 Fly Dane project.
Yeah.
Did you get anything from?
Nick said that it's definitely beneficial. Roffers didn't really have an opinion. I think I
So
have
the
an
three-
opinion.
For the
What's
3
your
inch?
opinion?
And he said if you can afford if the town can afford the higher resolution, it's probably worth it. The thing is, I mean, it's majority rules kind of a thing
Yeah.
here, you know, so if you say you're gonna go that and enough other ones do, you'll get a phenomenal price on it
Right.
relative, you know,
If nobody else goes along, price goes up.
right. So I don't know if you can say that you're in and,
What do we have, about 30 square miles left?
you know,
So we were 36 to begin with.
yeah.
Take the village and the village out and
Down there.
and the city,
Yeah.
right down to 33.
I don't know.
Times $1.50, that's pretty cheap. I would say, I would move that we participate and do the 3-inch pricing.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to participate in the Fly Dane with the 3-inch pricing.
And so we're talking per square mile, $830? Or what?
No, the 3-inch pricing, if enough people opt in,
That's 600 miles, that's
Square
everybody.
miles.
Oh, okay. So what's this one up here?
That's
Just
if only,
indicatively,
if we were the only ones,
No,
it would cost us $830 square mile.
okay.
what are the odds you think that the rest of the Dane counties are gonna want to do it?
who knows?
We'll think positive thoughts.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. On the page, discuss and consider appointment of representative to attend Cottage Grove Chamber of Commerce meetings. We didn't do that when we did committee appointments. Volunteers, I am not.
I
I
will.
would be interested in doing that. I was the first person who we joined, and then I got on a library committee that met exactly the same time. And so I withdrew. But I have gone twice this year and reported on it both times, and I really enjoy doing it.
I could do it too, but it's like, it's up to you.
I don't want to do it.
What's that?
I don't want to do it.
I make a motion to Christie, do it.
With a backup, if she would be
Yeah, Mike as a
going on
backup.
vacation to Australia or Denmark,
Which could be anytime.
you never know.
Anytime.
Then Mike is a backup.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Fogger, second by Anders, to have Christie be the first and Mike to play the backup. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discuss, consider date for the first town board meeting in July, which is 3rd, which is a Monday, and Tuesday's the 4th. So what,
I mean, we're open on Monday. It's just that it's awkward if there's anything on the agenda that people that might be out of town might want to, attend. That's the only reason to really think about it.
Do you have a recommendation?
No.
I'll be here.
I would do it on the 3rd.
I'm here.
Third, I'm here.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, that's fine.
So.
Motion by Anders, second by Fogger to have the meeting on July 3rd.
Right.
Monday. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discuss, consider approval of resolution 2023-0605B confirming town's intent to participate in negotiation and arbitration process for the siting of Dane County Solid Waste Facility proposed at 7101 US Highway 12 and 18 in the city of Madison.
I move Chris be appointed.
And our town's attorney.
Well, first you gotta adopt
First you
the
have to approve the-
resolution. First you gotta adopt the resolution,
Oh,
then you gotta appoint
okay.
somebody.
Is that your
Well,
motion to
actually, I
adopt?
guess you do have to put it on, within 15 days, you have to, they want, the name is part of the resolution, you're right.
Yeah, we're just,
So is your motion to approve? the
Approve
resolution?
resolution 2023-0605B, confirming the town's intent to participate in the negotiation and arbitration process for the siting of Dane County Solid Waste Facility, and have Chris and our lawyer be our delegates.
Second.
motion by Duplace, second by Williams. Any discussion on that motion?
So you really only get one delegate, but I think you can have representation with you. Is that what you do? Yeah. Okay, so Chris will be the delegate or member.
Yeah.
Are we doing L&M at the same time? Is that what we're doing, or?
Pretty much, yeah. I guess I
Yeah.
missed the fact that that was actually on the resolution.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works.
First thing, no road right of way permits.
Wow.
Yeah.
No more
Well, they've been fixing like crazy. They got a crew out of Janesville. And one kid, South Monroe, he's actually a really nice guy. He must be talking to a lot of the residents. But yeah, they've been doing Shadle and that way right now, and everybody's been happy. Actually, I gotten a couple compliment phone calls
Really?
that the work they've been doing has been looking really good. Steve Stolen.
I haven't looked at the Door Creek Cemetery if they picked up all the rocks. Out of that.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, they hauled all that limestone away. That big pile that was on Shadle got hauled away. And yeah, they up on Kinney Road, Chris Miller said they fixed that up really nice. So they're doing a good job. That's going well. Now I gotta see if I can get them out here to fix something on Vilas. We got a complaint today about some truck marks, some wheel marks that I don't remember them doing that, but I don't know why they were in his front yard, but they were. But yeah, I'll have to look at that and talk to them guys.
Okay.
And then truck 3, we were on composting, that's about 3 weeks ago. And I noticed I started it and that white puff of smoke. So that's a truck we had all the motor work done to last year. So somehow we got coolant through the motor again. So the EGR cooler has a leak. So they fixed that under warranty, but then they recommended we replace the turbo and all the other stuff too, and they gotta change the oil and do all that stuff, which obviously, but I wanted them to replace the turbo too, but they wouldn't. So we'll have to pay for the turbo to be fixed, it to be replaced. So yeah, $7,000. But it's better than the whatever 14 or whatever that would have been for the EGR and everything. So
Yeah.
so that's getting fixed. Now, hopefully we get it back this week or next. And then, yeah, culverts, I'll have Kim, I was gonna talk to her tomorrow about, we gotta put something out there about culverts on Yankee and Single Cow. They're getting replaced next week. And then, plan on striping the fire station end of this week or next week. Get that all done. I'll do front, back, sides. Be all done.
You guys are striping experts now, right?
Guys can see straight?
Parking lots, I think we do good.
You can see straight?
Center lines, it's harder, it's harder than you think. Trying to keep that thing straight. You think you're doing great, and you look back, you're like, oh, geez, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
My husband likes to drive on them.
That's just my natural driving ability too, as I'm looking in the fields. That's all I had.
And you got playground equipment in and
Oh, the hole's dug and equipment's out there. I see they tore everything apart, so they must have went through like all the parts to make sure they're all there. So, yeah, we did that last week, get the hole
Kennedy
dug.
Hills.
Mhm.
So hopefully they get it installed soon. I'll take pictures when they do.
Well, I've had some comments about down here that it's great to have that little, the stuff that's down there.
Yeah,
And still throw rocks out.
I know.
Those kids love that thing that spins around.
All right.
Flying off that thing after everything.
Clerk treasurer,
I don't think I really have anything.
doing a wonderful job. Thank you. Board reports and communications, we got annexation petition. Woody White Farm and,
Pretty much everything that the county owns.
yeah. What's his name's farm?
Bach.
Frank Levack's farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I never thought, I figured that would have stayed in beef production for as long as I was alive. I mean, his heirs or
He
relatives
gave
or
it to
nothing.
UW Platinum
I
and
know.
they sold it.
Money, money, money.
So that, it does go right down the creek, so it takes them half of the Femrite Bridge. So we have talked to the attorney about that, and under our intergovernmental agreement with Madison, because it just happened a year ago, they have to pay 90% of our cost to fix that half of the bridge. So it's $50,000 to $60,000. somewhere in that range.
And I talked to Madison the day after we got the annexation petition, and they said, yes, we know that.
No.
Somebody else in the department will handle it, so.
Yeah. Start getting the proof together, I guess, of copies of all the invoices and everything, so we can show what we paid and what we got in bridge aid, you know, what we actually put out of pocket, and that's what they'll pay 90% of then.
Yeah.
So am I gonna have to stop at the middle of the bridge and when I'm plowing,
Yep.
turn around?
Yeah.
So
And don't go all the way down Tremray.
I'm not gonna. Gaussman has a nice turnaround on the top of the hill in their field there. I'll just spin around there. Well, the county, it's county.
Madison will
field,
have to
but
plow it.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
it's fine by me.
All right, committee reports, Deer Grove EMS.
I'm just here to provide support. You have the documentation in front of you. I didn't bring it.
We don't need support, we need money.
Try to get money every day.
Yeah. Is that one thing, did they, in their RFP, did they ever ask what residents' pay rates are?
It's not RFP yet. It's just request for info. I don't recall. I don't believe so.
I would think they would want to know that.
I don't know that it was anything that we ever suggested they ask questions about, nor did their consultant.
I would think
And
they
these
want
days-
to know if their resident was going to pay $1,000 for a call if it was the city of Madison, or if it's only $650 if it's Deer Grove.
Yeah. Without them asking the question, without me researching the answer, our rates are all very close. Because we do rate surveys and we base our rate off of our neighbors anyway,
Yeah,
and they do the same.
okay.
And what, for the rest of the board, what Chris is asking about is the request for information from the city of, or village of Cottage Grove to the city of Sun Prairie and the city of Madison about the proposals that they had received earlier. The proposals they received earlier this year were really rough draft proposals and not apples to apples comparison to the services we offer to the village of Cottage Grove. So they worked with PAA again to draft additional questions that each department should answer. We're responsible to answer probably about 2/3 of the questions that they've asked. And the other ones they believe they know the answers to and don't need to ask us. So we'll be working on that for the deadline of June 19th. I've attempted to, and I've made this same speech at the village of Deerfield, is that the requests of the village of Cottage Grove, at least through President Williams' letter, aren't unreasonable. And the requests and adjustments that would be made in regard to funding would actually save the town money. So it seems like a discussion that it would be at least worth having. They're requesting additional representation at the board. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to purchases and some of the bigger decisions, non-budgeted purchases, the annual budget, those have to be unanimous anyway. So if they have more representation on an everyday board, they're not making operational decisions. That's why you've hired me. I make the operational decisions. Sure, there's some stuff that I have to have the commission's approval from or for to complete, especially things with some significant financial impact. But overall, you've hired me because you trust that I have the knowledge, skills, and ability to make good decisions. And those wouldn't be made monthly by even a commission that was, say, 50% part of the village of Cottage Grove.
So if there's no gain, what's their
They,
rationale?
their rationale is the future.
Oh, dipple there.
They fear the potential adjustments that could happen in the future without a tweak in the funding formula. Specifically, and to follow it goes a little bit of the governance. So I'm just providing information and reaffirming information as presented by President Williams, and I think it's worth the additional discussion to say, hey, maybe the things we did last year were the things we did last year, and let's discuss this year how we can keep ourselves whole. Because there is a risk that one of the other two departments could be seen as better than us. I don't know, because I can't force people to say that and vote for Deer Grove EMS. I know that the service we provide, from being and experiencing both departments and working with both departments, the service we provide is above and beyond anything anyone else could provide.
And they don't think that's true?
I think it's very hard to quantify my statement unless you've experienced something other than service you get here.
And you, has the information from the 3 or whatever other, their requests to other places, are you able to see all that data?
I'm sure once they receive it, they'll commingle it and put it all together for everyone to see.
Another open house?
Maybe, maybe not.
I'd like to say something, and that's for Mike and Steve's information, because Chris already heard this at our meeting on the 18th of May. So I started out with Sawubona, which is a Zulu word for I see you and I hear you. And this has evolved over a year. I've been thinking of last year's negotiating at the commission meeting, and they did raise question the entire time. They looked at the PAA study and they said PAA suggests that the funding be not just equalized value as it has been from the beginning, but it has equalized value and population and calls, and you factor all that together. And I didn't say anything, I listened, they wanted that. They also said, we have a lot more people, we have a lot more money invested, we want to have more votes. So I just kind of ignored it because I'm aware of the history of this, that it's always been 2-2-2, and that it has worked fine. It worked when the town of Cottage Grove was by far the largest municipality. And now the shoe's on a different foot. And that when the village was tiny, their office was in Flynn Hall. And did we charge them a lot for that? No.
No.
We charged them a buck.
Yeah.
That was a buck.
Exactly. And I started to think about the fact that, this is something and Steve, and Mike, and I know. But they probably don't know.
No, I don't think they do.
They, Melissa Agar invited all of us to have lunch with her and with the village people when she was first elected senator. And I went. Chris was planning to come, but he couldn't be there. John Williams went, Melissa went, a couple others. Anyway, one of Melissa Agar's questions were, how long have you all been in public service and on the board? And they went around, John Williams said that he had been on 8 years, which was the longest tenure of anyone on that board. And I said, I'm the newest member of our board, and I've been here 10 years. There's experience difference. There's a culture of history and of sharing here. I mean, Dan, how many times have you shared that you've worked together with so many? That's a culture that's not something that's known about by the rest. And so I tried to share some of that background information. And then I also said that hearing all that, knowing all that, understanding the importance of the tradition and working together, I am willing to relook at how we are funding Deer Grove EMS and the representation. Because it's more important to me that we continue Deer Grove EMS than that I maintain what has been. So that's where I stand. So I'm ready to look at it.
And I think some of the importance of this discussion are one of our agenda items, moving back to what the topic was of our meeting, is our replacement for our next ambulance that we're scheduled to replace one of the 2017s in 2025. But we're not willing to commit to that replacement until there's some surety about the process. Well, as this moves forward, and Dan's going to shake his head, yes, 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 that the longer we wait, the less likely we are to be able to get a vehicle in 2025. We're talking that we're probably going to have a decision. I've put a deadline of probably July is when we're going to need to have a decision. Otherwise, we're not going to get a vehicle in 2025. And our vehicle repair costs are going to explode even more than the numbers that I told you about that we already have pending for repairs of. We have about $20,000 between all of our vehicles pending for things that the shop has observed should get repaired, not immediately, but this is something you'll need to consider based off of mileage.
No.
And it also affects hiring. You know, we were all invited to the Deer Grove EMS Association's celebration, their luau. And Chris went, Roger and I went, and it was wonderful. I mean, we have a great staff. We enjoyed talking with them over food. But I learned that Lexi, one of our full-time paramedics, is leaving, sadly. And I mean, she's terrific. But hiring, you know, if you're looking for a job, do you want to go to somebody that maybe, you know, one of the municipalities is thinking about leaving? Or do you want to go someplace where it appears to be boring but safe, like Madison? This is much more fun here, right?
Absolutely.
But
You
I
don't
mean,
get
it
sweet
does.
bucket hats in the city of
hiring.
Madison.
No, I'm being,
But an ambulance.
but it does
Yeah.
affect the
We put-
ambulance and hiring.
You know, said, hey, we're gonna buy an ambulance, and down the way, something falls apart. What's our commitment to say, nah, we don't want it? Somebody else is gonna pick it up, right?
Well, and that's going to end up being in July, Mike, the
You know what I'm
discussion
saying?
is
No,
that
I mean,
signing on the dotted line just gets us a spot in line.
Right.
It doesn't actually
Yeah,
commit us financially to anything.
but you're there.
But we have our spot in line and we have the price that they just quoted to us locked in, that we don't have to worry about that. And that's one of the advantages that we saw with how early we locked in our last new ambulance purchase is that I'm finding out today that brand new ambulances are somewhere in the area of $400,000 to $430,000. Yeah. And we have our quote for our remount at just under $290,000, which was a bitter pill to swallow when I saw that as well, because my mind wrapped around $100,000 less than an ambulance. We just only paid like total $290,000 for the ambulance with assistance from the association.
Moving on, emergency government. Joint landfill.
Pay the bills.
Elected yet?
Oh, yeah.
Joint fire. Elected me. And the fire station didn't pass its fire inspection.
Did not pass?
No,
What happened?
got a door that won't close.
Oh, no.
Won't close.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Fire door not
Go ahead and
closed.
the place hadn't been secure.
There's been a couple that haven't
It's
been closed, right?
inside door.
No,
The one that goes, the most egregious one is one of the ones that go into the stairwell from the main foyer.
Main floor.
They,
We'll have to look and see what we can do with that.
because it's a fire door, you can't do anything to it. You have to replace it, is what I'm told. Otherwise, the things that could have been done to it to fix it would have been done already. I also meant to mention is the EMS part. All of our radios are installed. We've received everything, so we'll get an invoice to the town.
Time to adjourn.
We adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Duclair, second by Williams. It's non-debatable. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No, I want to stay here.
Okay, we'll let you stay, Mike, but everybody else is gonna leave.
I want to stay.
You won't be alone for very